Live in the basement from directly from Spain, and after training we have Rhett Bernstein with us. And Rhett, can you tell us a bit about your background, please?
Yeah, I'm from San Diego, California. I've lived in the States pretty much all my life. I've played university football at Brown University for 4 years, and also been playing with a few different teams in Europe, as well as in Puerto Rico with my recent club, Sevilla FC.
How did you end up here?
I ended up here through a contact of mine, and he I think was connected with Graham Dugoni from last year, but I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, he asked me to come out here, and I was obviously very excited about the opportunity to come to Norway and to Mjøndalen, and ever since then it's been a very good decision to make that move.
That's nice to hear. Could you tell us a bit about college football or soccer in the States?
College football is very unique. I'd say a lot of people underestimate the quality of some of the players that come out of college football. I think overall it needs some work, but I think you know, we only play games for about 3 months during a 12-month year. So for a large portion of the time we're just doing spring training, which is a lot of preseason time. But I think there's some very good football players that play at the university level and that are kind of unnoticed going into professional football. You have a lot of the U.S. national team players that have played 4 years in the university system. Some that are playing the Premiership in England. You know, Clint Dempsey played 4 years in university. Charlie Davies played 4 years. And I played against Charlie Davies in university. Same with a couple other guys that played national team. You know, a lot of Tim Howard, Brad Friedel. You know, they all went through the same system. But I think it needs a little bit more improvement. But I think it's a little different in the U.S. compared to when over here in Europe, where most of the players at a young age are going straight into the professional system.
How come so few players are going to the professional league in the States?
I think it's just a typical American philosophy that a player, even if it's an amateur or professional player, goes to the university system. It's with all other sports, with basketball, with baseball, with football, American football. They all go through the university system, and then they go into professional sporting. There's only a handful of players every year that might skip out on that and go on to a higher level. But for the most part, most of the professional players are going through the university system.
Okay, could you tell us a bit about the drafting system in the States?
Yeah, that's also very unique in its own way. Pretty much like the other sports in the U.S., you know, basketball, American football, baseball, they all have a drafting system, and every team gets to pick a certain amount of players every year from the university system, and that's how most of the professional teams get their players. With the MLS, for example, they pick from certain colleges, and maybe 5 players will be from other countries. I'm not exactly sure how it works, and it's still kind of funky to me, the system. But pretty much the last team placed from the previous year gets to select the #1 pick. So you can have a terrible season in the MLS, but you'll still get to have the best player from the incoming class.
And that's the way it is.
That's the way it is, and sometimes teams will trade players for draft picks, and to me, I'm not a big fan of the draft system. I never have been. I think it's kind of pointless in many ways, but at the same time, it's good. It helps, you know, the college players get right into a professional environment.
Okay. Then a bit about your stay here in Mjøndalen. How's it been so far?
It's been great. I've been very excited about being a part of this team, being in this town. It's great. I think I'm really looking forward to this season. I think it should be very exciting.
How do you see Norwegian or the football we play here compared to the one in the States?
I'd say it's very similar in many ways. I think it's very physical. I think there's some very good passing game. I think it's a little different tactically, but I think that's something that that I prefer being over here than in the States, because sometimes in the States I don't know, just there's a lot of running with your head kind of cut off action, which I never really quite understood. But I think it's becoming a little bit more technical. But I think over here it's a lot more controlled, and hopefully it's don't get me wrong, I think the MLS is getting better and the US system's getting better, but I really prefer the European style, especially Norway and Scandinavian countries. I think it's been rather good.
How will you describe yourself as a player?
I think I'm a pretty good team player.
Come on.
No, I think I'm a very good team player as well as a very physical player on the team. You'll find me as a hard-working player that I think people want to play with. I really give everything 100%, and I'm pretty dominant in the air. I think most of my dual challenges have been pretty strong, as well as my attacking game can be very efficient. But it's taken me a little bit of time to get used to the level here, but I think slowly but surely I think I can improve. I think it's a good adjustment coming over to Norway. It's been a good adjustment.
How do you see the team, and do you have any ideas about our chances this year?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think the team has the capacity to do a lot this year. I mean, my goal, to be honest, and I hope the goal with all the rest of the players is to advance to the top league. That's the dream. That's what I think we need to aim for. All the critics are doubting our play, and I can talk all this stuff now because it's not important. It doesn't mean anything, because the important thing is what we do out on the field. And we need to start performing better, and we need to start improving. But I really think we have the capacity to be one of the better teams in this league, and hopefully, go up to the next league.
Serious?
Dead serious. I think people underestimate the potential of the team, and I think maybe from the past, and I don't know how. I have only seen a couple teams play in the Deca League, and so hey, I might be wrong, but with what I've seen, and as far as the players we have and the team spirit, that's the most important thing to me. And I've been with teams that have not necessarily been as talented as other teams, but have been much more successful. So I think that this team has the same capacity, and I'm saying that with 100% confidence because I really think it could happen.
Let's hope.
Definitely.